Hello, everyone. You're welcome. Good to see you. Welcome aboard this session, this very, very special segment we have on putting AI to work, putting AI to work in insurance, putting artificial intelligence to work in insurance. Well, this is part of an ongoing series that we have on artificial intelligence, and it has been brought to you today courtesy of my organization. My name is Dr. Sandra Powers, and I work as a consultant, an AI consultant, AI strategist, as well as being a domain expert working at the product owner, product manager level, and also analysis level for insurance. So we have an ongoing series for AI, introducing people to the concept of AI, introducing people to the world of work of AI, helping people understand how it is that they can find use for that sector, in that sector, and how it is they can begin to understand the various different strands of artificial intelligence, because it is so wide and so varied. So let's carry on. So insurance AI implementations. Basically, how can insurance companies increase their artificial intelligence quotient using innovation strategies for Fnol? Now, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Dr. Sandra Powers, and I am an artificial intelligence strategist, consultant, and entrepreneur. I have till date two artificial intelligence AI startups under my belt, and I have worked within insurance and reinsurance for nearly 20 years now. So I come with over 30 different lines of business experience within personal insurance space, commercial insurance space, and then also within the reinsurance space as well. As far as insurance is concerned, so everything from general insurance to house insurance, casualty insurance, bodily injury insurance, contingency insurance, travel insurance, accident and health, high net worth insurance. I have also had exposure to policy administration, build systems, scripting systems, rating engine systems, underwriting systems. I have also been privy to work on commercial SME insurance projects and products as well. Specifically within the reinsurance domain space, I've worked for people like Endurance, Towergate, AIG, Hiscox, and much more recently, a company in the city called Acrisure Insurance. Acrisure, huge insurance company with turnover in the billions, footprint all over the world, and they are huge in the reinsurance space. I worked most recently within Acrisure reinsurance space on a digital transformation program that saw me straddling across advisory, facultative, and treaty, as well as MGA consortium and London market models as well. And so the reason I took some time to explain a bit about myself is so that you can understand that you are not dealing with a novice. I have come here with domain expert knowledge, and what makes this very wonderful is that you, in essence, are getting two for the price of one in this session. Two for the price of one, because A, I get to introduce you to artificial intelligence, and then B, you get to understand some parts of the insurance value chain, whereby you can begin to see how artificial intelligence can be put to work. What is artificial intelligence? It is intelligence demonstrated by machines, quite unlike the natural intelligence or machine intelligence. Intelligence that is demonstrated by machines is called artificial intelligence. When a machine is able to mimic and do like a human, behave like a human, work like a human, be tasked like a human. Artificial intelligence is demonstrated by machines, unlike the natural intelligence displayed by humans and animals. So basically, artificial intelligence is man's attempt to get machines to do what humans will do, to think like humans, to see like humans, to sense like humans, to avoid obstructions like humans, to detect patterns like humans. Are you beginning to see? So basically, artificial intelligence, certainly it has come to stay. Many refer to it, and it's generally it's a general agreement these days that artificial intelligence exists as the fourth industrial revolution. First industrial revolution was, steam, machinery powered by steam. Thereafter, the second industrial revolution was powered by electricity. That was when electricity was discovered. We went into the third industrial revolution age, whereby industry was powered by electronics and computing. And in this latest insurrection of artificial intelligence, it is the fourth generation of industrial revolution. Basically, artificial intelligence is lacing machines with intelligence. So it's stopping machines performing at rote, getting machines to think based on rules, based on logic, based on scripts, based on computations, and getting those machines to take actions to mimic humans' ability. That's what it is. Artificial intelligence can be applied in all sorts of sectors. In fact, all sorts of sectors, all sectors really. Within agriculture, it can be used to manage equipment and the management systems, and to be able to assess crop yields, and to be able to verify crop yielding potentials and harvest potentials. Artificial intelligence can be used in the translation services, whereby you transcribe text to speech and speech to text. Artificial intelligence also within healthcare has been applied and is used in medical imaging, medical record management, surgical robots, rehabilitation equipment, and also intelligent pharmacy. Within manufacturing, artificial intelligence used during industrial robots, or in industrial robots work and production work. In particular, companies such as Amazon are big on robotics, and going forward, the workforce, the intent of companies such as Amazon is to have a machines workforce that will outwork, outpace, and out headcount eventually. Is certainly looking that way, will out headcount eventually the human counterparts. Picking and packing machines now done by robots in Amazon and in places like Ocado. Artificial intelligence can be applied to digital marketing, whereby we see in that AI applied to SEO, to video marketing, to digital marketing, to e-commerce, and to social media marketing strategies. Artificial intelligence is also applied to travel, whereby autonomous driving vehicles, full autonomous driving vehicles, cruise control, GPS, all of that. Artificial intelligence can be applied to domestic robots, in-home, smart home automation. We think of Alexa, we think of Siri, we think of Google Hub and Google Nest products. Artificial intelligence can also be applied in finance, specifically banking, insurance, and venture capitalists. Artificial intelligence, particularly given the machine learning ability and deep learning ability, has also been very strong with helping fight fraud, intra-banks and intra-financial services. So artificial intelligence has come to stay. There are very many different examples of how artificial intelligence are deployed. That they can be deployed as smart technologies, as machine learning programs, as robotic devices. All, in whatever form that the deployment takes place, the intention is to contribute to positive impact within the insurance domain. When we talk of artificial intelligence, there are so many different strands to it. There's the automation strand, Internet of Things strand, AR/VR strand, machine learning strand, computer vision strand, the speech recognition, text to speech and speech to text strand, the visualization strand, and the natural language processing strand, in which case social analysis, topic modeling, chatbots and sentiment analysis and customer DNA analysis can be really carried out at a very deep level using natural language processing protocols and technologies. So let's come back to insurance. What is insurance? Or specifically in terms of what we have on screen. What you have on screen is a classic 4-stage claims management process life cycle. Within insurance, and I find this to be true regardless of whatever type of insurance it is, this insurance life cycle kicks off obviously after the purchase of the insurance policy. So a policy is in effect. If there's no policy in effect, this 4-stage life cycle cannot initiate. So what we have is a 4-stage life cycle. The first is the first notification of loss, called the Fnol, which is the first instance of an insurer becoming aware that an insured person, a customer, has suffered a loss, a theft, or an injury. Fnol, which is also called the first notice of loss, or in some cases, first notification of loss, is usually the very first step in the life cycle, as you can see. And as you have on screen, there's different permutations of it. There's the first notification of loss that can come by way of telephone call, so whereby the customer calls on their mobile phone from the scene of an accident. Hello, it's person XYZ. I've had an accident. I'm on location XYZ. First notification of loss can come in via telephone. Email means it can come in by email as well, by SMS messaging. A customer, again, at the scene of an accident can initiate Fnol, in this case it's called Enol, electronic notification of loss. So notification of loss can be initiated by use of smartphone or Android phone, or in the case of Fnol, a telephone. There's the mobile Fnol, whereby there's an in-app application inside the smartphone technology that all the customer has to do is that at the scene of the accident, they simply go into the app on their phone and then they click to notify. That's called the mobile Fnol. There's the CMA Fnol. CMA Fnol refers to consumer messaging apps Fnol. So the sort of notification that can happen via avenues such as WhatsApp and Telegram. So on Telegram and on WhatsApp, a company could have an Fnol notification bolted on to mean that on the basis that their customer would have downloaded this onto their telephones, also consumer messaging apps could be seen as a method of notification. Certainly with the growth of communication and interaction by customers and insured using smartphones, using in-apps, certainly the case has been made stronger for this consumer messaging apps Fnol. There's the web Fnol, whereby via the web, so at the scene of an accident, imagine this, all the customer would need to do is to open up their phone and go to the website of their insurance company and enter notification of loss information. That's called web Fnol. So you can see there are different permutations of Fnol, but Fnol is Fnol. All that is happening here is that the life cycle of the claims process is initiated. This is the first instance of contact, that a customer at the point of loss or at the location of loss, at the scene of loss, contacts their insurance company to say XYZ has happened to me. Now, second stage of the claims management cycle is that after that first notification of loss, you can imagine a situation whereby the insured would call the insurance company. Insurance company picks up the phone, and then the details are taken. There's claim information captured, whereby the phone information is captured, SMS information is captured, portal information is captured. There's automatic validation to make sure that whoever has called that insurance company is their customer. So validation could include validating the vehicle that has been involved in an accident, validating the fleet variant, validating the excesses, validating the special terms, validating, and activating experts on the scene. All of this, of course, dependent on whether the customer has been validated as a correct and existing customer. After the loss has been notified and details of the customer taken for an automated validation at the customer as the claims management staff end, then certainly the claims management process can be kicked off, whereby the claims handled, salvage process is initiated. If the car is a write-off, recoveries processes are initiated, third-party processes are initiated. The claims management will initiate at the scene of the loss, at the scene of injury, at the scene of accident, and can also take place away from that point. So claims management is the second stage that will happen after the notification of loss has been filed at the first stage. So at the claims management stage, that's when all of this happens, that the claims handled, the claims adjustment staff is assigned, and the claims adjustment staff's coordinated in the situations whereby it's a complex claim. There may be a myriad of experts that need to be appointed. This is where the coordination and assignment takes place. It may be that the vehicle may need to be recovered. It may be that as part of special terms to the customer, there is the need for network management. All of that initiates at this stage. There may also be the initiation of an Internet of Things for risk prevention and monitoring. There may also be a third-party insurance management element at this point. You can imagine a situation whereby they have to contact specialist repairers for windscreen, specialist repairers for body parts, specialists that provides a myriad of services at this point. So at this point, after the claim has been managed, the third stage of the claims process life cycle is the settlement process. This is where money changes hands. So there are two types of people getting paid at this stage. The first person getting paid is a supplier for their services. You can imagine in an accident scenario whereby the car has gone to a repair center, then you have to pay the repair center. That is called supplier payment. There's also claims indemnity payment that is made specifically to the insured to get them back into that position that they were in before the loss. Let's say that it was a car accident. Claims indemnity refers to the customer getting their money back for the car that was involved in an accident. Could mean getting money back, because they've had to take some days off work as a result of the accident and they were undercover. Claims indemnity payment could also refer to paying for injury sustained, by the insured at the point of accident. Also, all of that refers to this third block here called the settlement process. The very last part of the classic claims process life cycle is the claims closure process. This is where the claim is closed, the file is closed, the fraud file is closed, the third-party file is closed, the network file is closed, the injury file is closed. Now, this process here, number 1 to 4, can be as quick as possible. People have been known to conduct this, go through fast-tracking claims, start to finish, in minutes, because it's a quick claim, the cost of the item is known, and the company has a strategy of cutting the tail. That was what they did at Norwich Union, at Viva, when I worked there years ago, whereby if any claim comes in and the claim was under a particular figure, the company just settled it without quibbling. So the process for settling a fast-tracked claim is certainly different to the process that it would take to settle claims long-tail business, such as oil rig or a multi-story building in the city getting burnt by fire. That's a long-tail insurance. And so this process works whether it's long-tail or short-tail business. And this is, you can look at this and see this as a 100,000-feet picture of insurance. There are much more. There are other process threads under all of these big groups, but this is the 100,000-feet picture. Allows you to see insurance claims life cycle end to end from the highest levels, 100,000-feet picture. So basically, insurance companies have assessed that Fnol part of the insurance process, this first part, is a very good area in which to realize tactical quick wins. It's a very good area to realize costs. It's very often, if you're looking for low-hanging fruits in a particular scenario or in a strategy, the first place to look at for opportunities for quick wins is to look at the first notification of loss. So first notification of loss is the first point of call for digitization, and it is the first step in any attempt to improve a claims journey. Let's say in the instance of a first notification of loss, it wasn't digital, it was paper heavy like it used to be. The sort of disadvantage that the company would suffer would include, rekey problems. There was a company I worked for years ago called the Allianz Group, and the Allianz Group used to manage their Fnol out with a third party, and that third party ended up controlling over 80% of Allianz's business. Allianz did not like it. Allianz wanted to bring ownership of the end-to-end, so from Fnol to claims closure, wanted to bring it back in-house within Allianz, and he did not want to have Fnol in the third party hands anymore. So sometimes it could benefit companies to have first notification of loss done by another company. In other instances, other companies, because of the type of insurance that it is, let's say trauma insurance, in cases where there's been a death, you can, what insurance companies used to do before was that they found when they exported this process to places such as India and places such as that whose English was not as good as that of perhaps the insurance companies on the British and American soil. It added an extra layer of complexity because on top of the trauma that people were experiencing, there were language issues and language barriers. That could mean that a company could make a decision and say, you know what, in the cases of trauma, let's handle all of our Fnol on-site, onshore, in-house, and not out-house. So Fnol can be handled in-house. Fnol can be handled out-house. Fnol can be handled by the company itself. Fnol can be handled by a third party. But either way, it is not negotiable. This is where the customer journey starts from. So in a lot of experiences for insurance companies, there's a lot of leakage that happens at this point. There is a lot of potential fraud that happens at that point. There is there is failure demand that happens at that point. There is rekey problem that happens. Imagine a situation whereby customer calls a third party. The third party has a system and then they make entries onto that system, but the system that the third party has does not push information to the company that is the original owner of that business. Let's say the third-party company that has collected customer information, their systems do not talk to the systems of the company, say AIG, who has appointed them. That's an extra layer of complexity. That's an extra layer of potential mistakes. That is an extra layer of customer suboptimality. You can have a situation whereby the person who was taking the initial telephone call to handle the first notification of loss, you can have a situation whereby that first person that took the notes did not take good enough notes, to mean that by the next day, when the other staff comes in, they have to go through Fnol again because of badly written notes, badly typed notes, badly computed notes, badly tabulated notes. That can happen. So Fnol is usually where companies find quick wins, where they are able to very quickly realize cost savings, where they are usually able to delight the customers. If there is such a thing as the face of the company to the customer, it is at this point. It's at the Fnol point. By the time the customer who has been involved in an accident calls up the company to report, there's trauma. There needs to be care. There needs to be support. And if the customer experience at this stage, if the customer has had an accident, and if the customer, as part of his or her entitlement, is entitled to another car, another fleet variant, at that point, all the insurance company has to do is very, very quickly get that customer back into the position that they were in before the loss, quickly get the customer to their destination, or quickly get the customer another car whilst the car they had the accident in goes away for repair. So that can happen. So first notification of loss, potential leakages there, potential fraud there, potential data collection issues, potential validation errors, potential system errors. You can begin to understand why for insurance companies, first notification of loss is very critical and must be handled. No company within insurance gets that competitive advantage if they leave Fnol undecided. Now, digitizing Fnol is usually the first stage in companies that want to improve, for companies that want to improve the customer journey. So if you look at this example, sourced from Agero Research and Data, basically an accident occurs, the police comes to the scene. The police in England is obligated to call for their own preferred tow vehicle, a company that would come and tow away the car from the point of accident. You can imagine an accident has happened and the car is not drivable again, and the position of the car is so dangerous they cannot leave it in the middle of the road. Otherwise, it may cause other accidents. So the police on the scene is obligated to call a preferred tower to come and tow away that car. And that can be anything from $200 to $250. If that's not an American example. After the police has called the preferred tower, remember that 200 to 250 pounds has gone to a company that is not the insurance company. That's leakage right there. This is leakage. This money could have been saved if at the point of accident, if the customer had quickly notified the insurer and the insurer takes responsibility for getting a tower to come and pick up that vehicle. So that may end up costing the insurance company $50 or $100, but not $200 to $250. You can see why it's a quick win. So let's carry on. So after the police has called the preferred tower, the car is towed and placed in storage. Remember, it's not for free. It's at cost. The car is towed and placed in storage. At that point, the customer files an Fnol claim, notifies the insurance company. That's in this example. Okay, after notifying the insurance company, the next stage is that the car is released into the insurance company's hands 5 to 6 days after the accident. Listen, a number of things have happened here. There is towing costs. the car has been placed in a storage, there are storage fees. So towing costs, storage fees, these are leakages. And this is what is making the cost of claims handling high. And this is what the insurance company would want to do its best to absolutely eliminate. So the car has been released to the insurer after 5 to 6 days after the incident. Okay. The next stage is that maybe if the customer has gotten a comprehensive insurance cover, not a third-party cover, but a comprehensive insurance cover, there is the need to rent a vehicle for that customer with the insurance policy until the car that has been released 5 to 6 days after the accident has been repaired. So we're talking of car rental. Car rental. That's another cost. All of these costs are borne by the insurance company. After the car has been rented, then there's a secondary tow to take the car from the insurance company's possession to take it to the repair shop. That's another cost. $125 to $150. That's another cost. So that you've seen 4 layers of costs built here. Towing costs, storage costs, rental costs, secondary towing costs. The car is delivered to the repair shop. The car is delivered, the original car that the customer was driving, assuming that it's still drivable. If it's a write-off, this would not take place. If it's a write-off, it's salvaged. It goes into recoveries. And you can see that the layers of costs is what makes Fnol, if nothing else within motor insurance, the place whereby insurance companies normally come to as they attempt to deliver a better service for their customers. So whenever it is on the cards to save costs, whenever it is to prove quick wins, whenever it is that companies want to shorten the insurance claim cycle, the first notification of loss element of the value chain is normally where insurance companies would start from. So understanding the value of Fnol from the accident scene, so receiving Fnol from the insurance perspective is key, because if Fnol does not allow the insurer to step in quickly, all of these costs would be borne by the insurance company. Do you know a company like AIG spends £150 million a day, pays claims worth £150 million a day, and it's because of things like this. It's because of layers of costs like this. Towing costs, storage costs, rental costs, is because of things like this. So the lower that the harder the insurance company is able to work to effect the total elimination of these costs, the better for it. The earlier in the journey that the insurance company is being notified by the customer of the accident, then the quicker they can step in. If the customer calls the insurance company after the police has stepped in, there's the danger that the towing costs will be accrued by the insurance company. If the insured calls the insurance company after the car has been towed and placed in storage, there's the danger that that cost is borne by the insurer. It's better for the insured to notify on scene as quick as possible the insurance company. So if nothing else, the process of minimizing the cost starts sooner rather than later. So receiving Fnol at the scene of the accident is key. If Fnol, if the first notification of loss does not take place at the scene of the accident, then the vehicle is captured by a tower, and that's usually arranged by the police. So, on-scene Fnol expedites the repair process by immediately sending the vehicle straight to a direct repair shop. So let's say the accident occurs and the person automatically notifies the insurance company. Instead of the car being put into storage, instead of rental fees being paid, instead of a secondary tow from the storage facility to the repair shop, the only cost that's accruable is the cost of taking the car to the repair shop, meaning that all those layers of costs are eliminated. I trust you can see where we're going here. So the sooner it is that customers can report Fnol, the sooner it is that the claim staff can quickly shorten the process of the claims life cycle and then get the customer back to the position that the customer was in before the loss is suffered. So I want to talk about Fnol, first notification of loss. There are so many things that can happen. As I've said before, you could be notified by telephone, notified by email, notified by mobile, notified by consumer messaging apps. On-scene Fnol, automated Fnol is preferred over delayed Fnol. At the point at which notification has taken place to the insurance company very quickly is able to capture the data on the customer. They search for the policy information to make sure that the customer is their customer. Immediately, a claim is created on the system. There is speech capture so that there is immediate proofing initiated so that the trauma in the voice of whoever has had the accident can give credence to the fact that they have suffered an accident. AI can make emotions recognition possible. The initial handling of the claim is also at this point. Initial handling of the claim by the claim staff, initial handling of the claim by the insurance company, initial handling of the claim by the third parties that will have different arrangements with the insurance company. Straight through processing happens here. Network management. There's the need for the fleet to be managed. There's the need for the fleet to be managed. There's the need for the customer to be provided with another vehicle that can still get them moving around until such a time as their car has been repaired. There's the need for repairing management, network management, hire management, fraud management. Fraud scoring starts as soon as the notification, as soon as the insured notifies the insurers about the incident. Special handling. Let's say it's a Harley Davidson. Let's say it's a Bentley. Let's say it's a Rolls Royce Wraith. There might be very special handling required to tow the vehicles. All of that refers to what must be considered during Fnol. There's the need for third-party management. There's the need for how to wrap up that call, how to close that call, how to close that conversation, how to assign the claim to the insurance company's agent that will be managing it. All of that happens during the life cycle. And basically, what I'm trying to do is help you to understand what artificial intelligence can do in insurance. Artificial intelligence means Fnol can be used by companies as a jump-off point for outstanding service. Once the Fnol is slick, then it means customers begin to regard that insurance company as a company with an outstanding service for its customers. And it can only but mean repeat business, which is the holy grail of business and which is good. So with artificial intelligence, Fnol becomes a win-win for all, especially the customer, especially the insurer. The customer doesn't have to be pained by the fragmented process of Fnol handling. The insurance company is not pained because they're being notified by the customer earlier in the process. Eliminates the need for rental costs, towing costs, storage costs at the very beginning of the Fnol process. With artificial intelligence, first notification of loss is streamlined and multiple channels are accommodated. So the ability to notify by email, by telephone, by web, by SMS, by consumer messaging apps, they are all accommodated by artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence introduces an advanced operating model. It means that technology is given, the technology paves the way for the delight of the customer. It means that the customer's needs and requirements can be anticipated a bit more. The customer does not have to be traumatized before a certain care or before being fulfilled in a dignified manner. So artificial intelligence can introduce an advanced operating model. Artificial intelligence introduces predictability into fulfillment for the customer. So once the call has come from the customer notifying about first notification of loss, immediately that claim is segmented and the rules about the management of that segmented claim immediately comes into play. Artificial intelligence unlocks agility. The customer is able to prove who they are quickly, proof the situation quickly. The customer service agent at the phone is able to quickly diagnose what is needed. Big data analysis means that there is immediate a buffet of information that gives that gives the claims handler information about the customer, their claims history, their insurance history, their payment history, their injury history, their accident history, the third-party history, their liability history, the payout history, their management history, the customer care history. So basically, agility is unlocked by artificial intelligence, and it results in a smarter decision-making. Automated machine learning, smart technology. It unlocks agility. The process becomes more nimble. The value chain is not a monolith. The insurance companies is able to be more agile with the way it responds to customers, all because of artificial intelligence being deployed. There's sharper decision making. There's AI makes the claim cycle expeditious and efficient. Fnol process can accelerate the claim cycle and allow the insurers to lower the loss severity. Automated unseen Fnol restores confidence in the insurer abilities, as well as the AI facilitating seamless Fnol. Fnol that kicks off at the scene, on scene, before the police gets on the scene. That is seamless Fnol. Fnol that means that the customer does not have to come and stand out by the roadside before a hire vehicle gets to pick him or her up from the point of the accident. That is seamless Fnol. Automated unseen Fnol means zero paperwork, and it results in a transformational experience for the customer. This is all what artificial intelligence can do and bring into insurance. So for insurance companies, it is a given. It's a must-have. Artificial intelligence is a must-consider. In Fnol, there are an abundance of low-hanging fruits, and you take care of business at the Fnol stage. You've taken care in saving up to 70 to 80% of costs. And that goes a long way. So what I want to do in this next screen is to explain some of the artificial intelligence technologies that could be considered by insurance companies to manage Fnol. These are some of the different ways in which artificial intelligence can be leveraged, and this is where the value is. So if you're listening and there you are wondering how it is artificial intelligence can better your company, how it is you can deploy it, how it is you can begin to pull the levers of artificial intelligence, this is how it can happen. At the point of first notification of loss, once the customer is speaking to the claims agents on the phone, that speech can automatically be transcribed to text. AI transcription services means that there is no need for the claim handler to do any typing. Everything that the customer says to the claims assistant is captured via natural language processing systems that transcribe speech to text and also text to speech. Conversational AI, that notification could have also been via chatbot. So chatbots and live chats agents can be used as an AI solution to manage the customer journey in an Fnol instance. Image recognition. Let's say, for an instance, there was impact, there was an accident. These days, smart technologies means that smartphones have camera technology that are so advanced that the customer can take a photograph of the damage and immediately send it off to the insurance company. And they say a picture tells 1,000 stories. And as they are able to look at that image, artificial intelligence tools can be used to do image recognition and diagnose what sort of impact, what sort of damage, what sort of situation that the customer has found themselves in, and begin to predict the necessary cures for getting the customer back to the position that the customer was in before the loss is suffered. There's also image understanding systems whereby the photograph that is taken very quickly using artificial intelligence, the insurance company is able to quickly understand the image, and maybe parts ordering can immediately start. Once the artificial intelligence parts recognition machine is fully conversant with what part of the car has been impacted, immediately contact can be initiated with, particularly if it's a specialized car part, contact can be initiated with the company that makes the car part, and immediately other processes kick in, because using AI, the image has been understood and parts ordered. Augmented reality, virtual reality. You can imagine a situation whereby with augmented reality, customers can also give more information to the claims handling staff about the damage, the injury, the witnesses, the position of the cars, and make assumptions, wrongly held assumptions, clear. During the process of data capture, speech capture, initial claims handling, claims adjuster assignment and coordination, during the straight-through processing and network management, transcribing service, AI transcribing services can be used. Connected vehicles, AI can be used. If it's an autonomous vehicle, is it a fully autonomous? Is it semi-autonomous? There are various things that the insurance company could be privy to the engine of the autonomous vehicle and begin to download information about impact and speed and road conditions. This is even before they've had details of what happened in the accident. But as soon as the customer notifies the insurance company, they can automatically begin to download the engine the information that sits in the engine of the autonomous vehicle. Autonomous vehicles, if it's level 0, there's no automation, just ordinary cruise control, motion control. If it's level 1, there's driver assistance such as GPS, auto radar, sensors, and motion control. Level 2, there's partial automation, where there's sensors, there's cameras, there's radar, lidar, steering assist, motion control. Level 3, autonomous vehicle driving, there's conditional automation with sensors, with cameras, with radar, lidar, all of that. Level 4, high automation, whereby sensors, cameras, and all of that. Level 5 is full automation. Level 4, high automation. Level 5, full automation, whereby the ability of the insurance company to be able to plug and play, download the necessary information, to be able to assess, assessing the liability is key at this point. Fnol is, in some instances, liability is clear, but in other instances, liability is contested. So we can see with the AI ability feature in this instance to plug and download information from the engine of the system, very quickly the insurance company can begin the necessary process of elimination to assess who is guilty and who is innocent at the scene of the accident, as they attempt to make a case, obviously, for their customer. At this point where the data is captured after notification is where natural language processing can kick in. Through listening to the voice of the customer on the phone, the AI transcribing features can pick up on emotion, can know when the person is stressed, when the person is sad, when the person is afraid. There's emotion recognition, there's trauma management embedded within NLP technologies that are at the fingertips of the insurance companies, and that can be used to manage the Fnol. There's optical character recognition. At this point, let's say the notification was done by paper, and the paper is sent to the insurance company. I was a contractor. I've had several contracts with companies that were going from paperful to paperless. I did some work with AIG. I did some work with Target. In Target, we lifted and shifted operations from over 900 branches in the UK for small and medium enterprises, lifted and shifted operations into Manchester, into a 500-seat facility. Went from an organization whereby there was paper and storage and documents everywhere, to a paperless organization where everything was digitized. So OCR can take what was a very, very paper-laden process and make it much more slicker. At the tail end of Fnol is where repair management kicks in, network management kicks in. So you've notified the insurance company, the details have been taken, and then the necessary contacts and routing and necessary management of that Fnol kicks off. Higher management, you may need to get a card to the customer. Fraud management kicks off because the customer may be calling to report lies, which had the customer been using a vehicle that permitted, motion control, sensors, camera, lidar, radar, steering assist. That information could be downloaded by the insurance company, disproving what the customer has said. So fraud management kicks off at the very beginning. and would last throughout the entire life cycle of not only Fnol, but the entire cycle of the claim. Special handling, it could be a very special vehicle that needs to be lifted or towed in a very special way. That kicks in. Third-party management kicks in. Call closure kicks in. Conversation wrap kicks in. So at this stage, the type of AI technologies that a company could consider would include speech to text, AI technology, chatbots, conversational AI, live chat, image recognition, automated machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, big data. Big data. Data is huge. Insurance is notorious for being an extremely data-laden endeavor. All of this data have to be collected. We're talking big data here. Various integration points to the police, integration points to DVLA, integration points to third parties, integration points to windscreen repair, integration points to hotel. Maybe it is that the customer cannot afford to travel anymore. They simply have to go spend the night in a hotel. There may be integration points, that are set up to route that type of customer to a preferred third-party supplier, agent of the insurance company. So all of that can happen. And so when you talk about integration, you're also talking about APIs, the ability to push and pull information. There are informations that are readily available on the internet. There's information that's available FTP. There's information that's just simply not available that you send for. There's information that is also readily available through open APIs. So what type of relationship exists between all these parties and the insurance company? That would dictate the sort of AI efforts that needs to be put in to be able to harvest this big data as part of Fnol management. So I hope this has really helped you to understand, So just to recap, as I said, you can turn selfies into smart diagnostic tools. You can use cameras to take picture, and then by consulting the photograph, claim assistants and claim managers can quickly diagnose what has gone wrong. It allows unseen Fnol to be delivered seamlessly and claim cycles shortened. Records management. Insurance is time consuming. Record management in insurance is vital, but time consuming. Compiling claims, analyzing claims, analyzing injuries, accidents, payments, third parties, witnesses, all of that is critical. And the criticality means there's the need to be able to access these records quickly. Where are these records? Are they all over the country? Are they in the country or outside the country? The ability to be able to pull information, AI makes it possible. If records are digitized, then artificial intelligence applications and programs can collect and access them, as well as analyzing the information, making it easy for claims adjusters and claims professionals to interpret. Carrying on, what are other big wins for AI? Machine learning algorithms can analyze complex data sets. Now, in the paper-heavy world of insurance, machine learning algorithms will be able to quickly combine and analyze high complex data sets, quickly create pivot tables, quickly, extrapolate information from extrapolate information and quickly make sense of that information, whether it's payment history information, injury information, driving history, fraud history, fleet information, all sorts. So that ability to be able to read a customer's unique, comprehensive DNA will enable the claims professionals to tailor their programs, solutions, and delight the customer. So digital maps can be created for various sequences of products, and the use of unsupervised learning can be brought to bear, converting data into patterns. Bear with me, just noticed one or two things here. Into patterns. So we can begin to see how artificial intelligence is key, how artificial intelligence helps in the delight of the customer, how artificial intelligence makes life easier to serve the customer, how artificial intelligence makes it possible to be able to shorten the claim cycle. We can see it. We can see it. We can see it. Okay. So, yeah, wearing of smart devices. In some instances, insurance companies can fit smart devices to the cars of their customers so that in the eventuality of an accident, they can download that information and begin the process of assessment from the information contained in that in the engine that they have extrapolated information from. So you can begin to see, look at that, combining OCR, natural language processing, and machine learning. Yes, machine learning based applications can work together with combining OCR with NLP and machine learning, cloud technology, cloud APIs, digitizing electronic Fnol information. All of that is made possible by artificial intelligence. I've put some information here on different YouTube videos, and what I would like to do is actually, power and potential of AI in insurance claims. Let's just quickly watch that video so that you can see an example. You can see an example of the deployment of AI, just to bring it home a bit more. Okay. So this is the power and potential of AI. Okay.
What happens in the world where there are no accidents or there are no claims in terms of the increase in vehicle miles traveled, density of vehicles on the road? We've not seen any significant change, but we live in a mixed multimodal world where some cars have different levels of autonomy. So in that world, we think frequency may start to come down, but the cost of repair, we think, will continue to increase. That has to do with the complexity of the vehicle and the amount of electronics in the vehicle. None of us can predict exactly what 2030 is going to look like, but we know what we can do to prepare. That means being on a purely digital platform, a platform that is mobile first, a platform that has deep connectivity to real-time data from the cars. We think the quality of the data will continue to get dramatically better. When the claim starts to take place, we believe a massive amount of this will be aided by artificial intelligence. Where the human is going to be involved is when there's providing emotional support to the customers in a highly traumatic situation. If we can free up talent to be able to deal with those high impact areas, meaning the agent, the insurance adjuster, all the people that deal with the consumer, to provide a very high touch experience, so that we free them up from all the mundane paperwork and all of these activities. That is really what we're building towards. So when you look at our company, what are we doing to future-proof ourselves and actually to be able to lead our customers? Well, 20 years ago, we built our web platform. 10 years ago, we built our mobile platform. 5 years ago, we invested very heavily in artificial intelligence. We have dozens of PhDs in not only artificial intelligence, machine learning, physics, all kinds of disciplines. But AI by itself is worthless unless you can surgically improve the way an adjuster or a claim manager or a car company can deal with their customers. We have 75 different AI models running today. We have another 250 different models in the pipeline, and we're building them faster and faster to solve very specific problems, but in the context of an overall solution.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this session, which I am trusting you have enjoyed enormously. This video is on YouTube. Certainly my information is available on LinkedIn. Once again, I'm Dr. Sandra Powers. You can reach out to me for business. You can reach out to me if you're interested in building a model for your insurance business. You can reach out to me if you're wanting to put something in place, whether it's not insurance at all. I have worked within retail, education services, pharmaceutical, banking, manufacturing, e-commerce space, digital marketing, using AI for explosive video marketing initiatives. And so my knowledge straddles a number of areas, a number of sectors, a number of domains. And I'm always very happy to listen to come on board initiatives and work with the team with reference to solutionizing and building products that customers want to use. So certainly you can be part of our internship classes, because I am putting up a session that will take this teaching to the next degree and expose more of artificial intelligence, not just only for Fnol, but also doing it for claims management, doing it also for settlement, doing it also for claims closure, and also doing it for policy administration, where the life cycle is a bit different. After policy administration takes place, then there's the quote to sale, the business is bound, and then there's the payment that is made, and then there's document management, where the document is sent out to the customer confirming purchase. So that's a different value chain. So by all means, I hope you've enjoyed this session. I want you to please like it, drop a comment or two, like the video. I want you to subscribe to my channel, and I want you to come back and look again and again through the number of videos that we have, because there's always something that will always be useful to you as you aim to build your AI models and various solutions for your business domains. So thank you once again for being part of this session, and I bid you well. Thank you ever so much. Bye-bye for now.